Okay, I'm going to try to visualize what they're saying over here. And we just derived a couple different things. We have two parametric curves. We have C. This is C. Whoops, sorry about that. This is the curve C. And this is the curve C tilde. All right? So to graph these things out, basically there's going to be values for T in each one. And they're going to create points. If I thought about the curve C, though, and I'll get to the reading question in a moment, by the way, and if you looked at C, an easy point pick would be T is 0. You get 0, 0. That's an easy point. Now, looking at it, though, looks a little kind of almost creepy looking at this point. But let's write this down. X equals 3t squared. And then I guess, the other one is, y equals 2t cubed. And I think one thing I would do is just eliminate the parameter. So this would be, y over 2 equals t cubed. And then I would say, oh, t is equal to the cube root of y over 2. And then I'd square it. T squared is going to be, let's see, it's going to be y to the 2/3 over 2 to the 2/3. This isn't that helpful, actually. But anyway, I'm looking at something, and you could plug it in here, and you get x equals, it's a 2, by the way. You're getting like this, there's certainly a constant multiple of it, but it's y to the 2/3 power. And the bottom line is it looks sort of like this over here. Right, sort of like that. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm starting to realize that, it could also mirror down, too. Let me just think about that for a moment. You got x equals that. X has got to be a positive number, by the way. But the y could be plus or minus. It could be a negative or positive, by the way. So I feel okay with that. And if I graph this guy out over here, what's going to be, I would look at this thing and saying x equals, u squared plus 1. And then y would equal minus u. And then I'd probably like square the y, you get y squared equals u squared. And then you get x equals y squared plus 1. Well, I certainly know the x is above 1 now. So I'll say it's over here somewhere. And it's a parabola. And what's a parabola look like? It opens up like this over here. And they do say it intersects at some point. All right? Something like this over here. There should be nice symmetry to it as well. All right? So let me read that again. And this is the curve C tilde. That's the parabola. And this is the curve C. All right? They're tough curves to graph, though. It says the curve C tilde is given parametrically by this equation. I do see that. Find the coordinates of the point that lie both on C and C tilde. Well, let's try to find one. Let's try to find this point. But if I find this point, I found this point because there's some symmetry to this. How would I do that? Well, one thing I could do is just think about it and saying that, just if they hit somewhere, let's just say they have equal t's at this point. All right. So what do you get? You get 3t squared. I'm doing the x, by the way. Equals t squared plus 1. All right, let me think about that. And let me see if that's true. What do you get? 2t squared equals 1. T would equal, let's see, t squared equals 1 over 2, right? So t equals plus or minus 1 over the root of 2. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what the point's going to be over here. And let's write that down. And, plugging it in, it doesn't look that bad. I'm going to plug it in here, by the way. And what would you get up there? Whether you use them, plus minus 1 over root 2, you can get 1/2 plus 1, which is 3/2. By the way, this is also going to be 3/2. All right, let's see if we can do the y now. And the y, looking at the t again, I'm going to say, it could be minus 1 over root 2. That's a negative number. Or it could be the positive 1 over root 2. All right, let me just check it. Looking around. I gotta think if I'm getting the same thing in both cases, by the way. Let's see, I get 3/2. Yeah, it looks all right. Looks all right. So we got that done. And let me just read it again to you. This is curve C tilde is given parametric equation x equals u squared plus 1. And again, x is equal to 3t squared, by the way. And that's why I put the t down. 3t squared and then u squared. Put the same t down. Yeah, it did okay. And then the next thing up says, y equals minus u. We got that part covered. Find the coordinates of the point that lie in both C and C tilde. We just did that. Thank you. Let's go to the next question.